And then The Phantom Menace comes out. I was 19. I was 19 when 3 came out. I was 13 when The Phantom Menace came out. And you have to understand, like, I've said this in other episodes, I didn't really have that much of a discerning taste at that age. So I didn't know what to make of it because, like, on the one hand, one thing about me is I'm a fiercely loyal person, and I was so loyal to the Star Wars franchise that I was not willing to say anything negative about it. So I was like, well, and I was confused because, like, I didn't really have I wasn't really that critical of things. So, but, like, I didn't love the movie, and I wanted to. So I was like, it wasn't bad. I guess it was okay. And so I didn't really know how to articulate how I felt about the movie at the time. And ironically, seeing The Phantom Menace sort of rekindled my interest in the original trilogy and the whole expanded universe around that. So I went and got into that. I think when I was 13, 14, something like that, was the age in which I read all those, the Thrawn trilogy and the, what was that other trilogy by that guy who's doing the guy who did the novelization for the new Rush album also did Star Wars expanded novel books. Like Anderson, Kevin J. Anderson, was that his name? I am pretty sure it was. Okay, so I got back into that, and then when I was 16, Attack of the Clones came out, and I remember the reaction to that being mixed. I mean, almost everyone hated The Phantom Menace, but a lot of people liked this. And I was the kind of person that, like, I didn't really have too many strong opinions on my own, so I'm like, oh, if people are gonna like this, I'm gonna like this too. So I'm like, yeah, Attack of the Clones was a good movie. It wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't as good as the original series. And so I sort of just, like, kept that up, like, it was alright, you know. And eventually, when I was 19, I was in college by that point, the final movie, Revenge of the Sith, came out, which everybody was, with the exception of just a few people, were saying was, like, the best movie ever. And now keep in mind, this was like the beginning of Web 2.0, so I was, for the first time, getting sort of instant reviews online, and a lot of people were saying, oh, this is so bad and everything, and I didn't really, and I was torn between trying to defend it and also realizing that these naysayers had points. So I was a defender of the Star Wars prequels for many years, until some point in my 20s. I don't remember exactly when. Maybe around the time that I started watching Confused Matthew, maybe slightly before that, I finally just sort of, through watching internet reviews, I gained a more discerning palate, you might say, if you were a pretentious person, towards movies. And I finally said, okay, these movies suck. I've always known they've sucked. I've just never known how to articulate it until now that I'm watching these reviews. So, and I felt betrayed. You know, I felt like my childhood had been screwed because of this. Because of, it's like, you ever have a bad friend when you're young? Like, especially if you are a nerd or another kind of person that doesn't really have a lot of friends. You ever have a bad friend who just picks on you constantly, puts you down, makes you feel like crap, and when you're around other people, he might be cool with you when it's just you and him, but when you're around other people, he joins in them making fun of you, but you sort of stand up for him because you don't have that many friends and you don't want to lose the few that you do. I kind of felt like it was a similar thing with the Star Wars prequels. It was somebody who was treating me so crappily, yet I was defending them so hard, you know? I was saying, oh, he's a good person. What do you mean I should stop hanging out with him? He's all right, you know? He's a guy. But finally, I came to realize what it was, and yeah, that was that. And I was bitter about it. And so would you, if you had been through the same thing that I had been through. Ooh, we can build a convention center. You know what? We're going to flip on over to an area more central to everything for a convention center. I mean, I could put it near the downtown, but this is pretty much taken up. Unless... No, it's way too big. Wait, you know what? I could put it here. Well, it's a hard call, really. But I think we need to give people reason to venture out a little bit from the city, or from the main parts of the city. So here is where it will go. And maybe the existence of the convention center out here will create a desire for commercial in this area. Swinging me back to our area. I'm really hoping this stuff develops. I mean, it looks like it is so far, but we all have seen the derpness of some of the what happens with the larger cities. I mean, Trinity was derping a lot worse by this point in terms of stuff. But I'm thinking this area would be a nice area to have a little industrial area. I said area enough times. Okay. You're going to build here. And I wonder if it would be an idea to build connection. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Can I build that across there? Yeah, that's alright. Okay. So anyway, I am making the most long and rambling point that I've ever made, which is saying a lot because I do that often on these SimCity videos, but the point I was trying to make was Star Wars took something very much loved from my childhood, made me defend it because of the loyalty I had to the original material that I had grown up with, and just sort of made a bitterness in me that, I mean, there's a lot of... I'm the kind of person who watches bad movies for fun, just to laugh at them. I've watched Battlefield Earth, I've watched Howard the Duck, just because I knew how terrible they were and how much fun I'd have making fun of them. Damn. Okay. We're spending a lot of money on this stuff. We already do have a hydrogen power plant. We have room to grow. I could probably turn the power down a little bit and still have enough power. Oh man. And you might think, oh, her first world problems, get over it. Yeah, whatever. I mean, these are the things that are important to you when you were a kid, and they have an impact on your psyche that can't be denied. And I think that movies and art are important in shaping people. So, um, you know what? I could make a rail bridge here. Why not? I really don't have a rail line going across this map, do I? It doesn't matter. I mean, I have rail over here somewhere. Yeah, I have it over here. I wonder if I could make it go around and around. Yeah, this is something I could do, I guess. We are going to destroy some stuff to make my railway. Actually, I don't have to destroy too much because this road, nothing is fronting directly onto this road, so we are just going to chuggle on down to New Orleans, as Credence might say. You gotta get with the chuggling, man. It's all about them chuggles. So we have surface rail, subway, and monorail in the city now. We've always had all those three things, but I think it's just funny. Maybe I should build elevated rail somewhere just to complete the circle of Dirk. Oh man. But so yeah, that's why the Star Wars prequels bother me, and no other bad movies really bother me that much, you know? And to be fair, there are a few movies that are that bad. I mean, even Battlefield Earth is terrible. It's a really awful movie in just about every way. But at least you can just laugh at how stupid it is. Just the number of stupid moments in that movie is so high that you're going to be amused. You're at least going to enjoy watching it. I mean, it's not going to be like, oh, this is awesome. It's going to be like, this is the stupidest thing I've seen in my life. And you're going to enjoy it for that reason. But anyway, the point was, that was something that had brought me a lot of joy throughout my life. Blah, 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 you know, whatever. I already summarized myself. So, how does this relate to SimCity, which was the entire point of this spiel, probably like 10 episodes ago by now? Well, as you know, I started with SimCity 2000, and have been playing SimCity ever since. So, I loved SimCity. I had so much fun with SimCity growing up. I don't need to tell you why it was fun or how it was fun, because it's self-evident. I'm still playing it. It's 2013. I mean, not 2000, but the three SimCity games of my life. I've never played the first SimCity game that much, so I can't really personalize that one. But 2000, 3000, and 4. So many hours of enjoyment over my life. Just so many fun, wonderful cities I've created. Now, granted, SimCity 2013 doesn't have as much of a history with me of me defending it and then eventually realizing it was bad. But I just remember for so many years saying, wouldn't it be nice if they made a new SimCity game? Because the technology exists these days to make an extremely cool city simulation games. I mean, a lot of games got bits and pieces of it right. Like, for example, Cities XL is so close to being a great game. It is so close. It just has issues, you know, it just has little issues that chip away at it. I mean, it's not a bad game. I would classify it as a good game. Like, this is a good game to play, Cities XL. However, it could have been a great game. It could have, but it just fell short, which is disappointing. However, there are other things out there. Like, I've never played, what is that, Cities in Motion, whatever. It's not really a city simulation, it's a traffic simulation, so that doesn't really count. You know, there's this new game being made independently called Banished, which almost seems to me to be a sort of a medieval city builder. And If you, I don't remember exactly uh, what the website for this guy is, but if you just search Banished on YouTube, you will see what it is, and it looks awesome. So hopefully that's going to be good. But back to my point, I was just so anticipating there being a new SimCity game because of all the things of possibility. And when I remember the first time I saw the beta, I didn't get to be part of the beta. I didn't ask to be. I just watched Dwyron as he played it, and it was. I was like, well, it doesn't look that great, but this is just a beta, you know. But then it came out, and I knew what it was, and knew that no amount of patches or fixes could really make this game right, you know? I better put a fire station here, or else there's going to be, there are going to be fires. So yeah, it just makes me so sad too, because it's just like an old friend of mine who's just gone way, way off the rails, who's just messed up his life so much. And it's like, come on, bro, you used to be so cool, you used to be you used to be such a great friend, and now look at you. You're a drunkard living out on the street. It's just so sad to see what you've become, my old friend. And it's just sort of like a metaphor in a way, just because, when you're a child, you have so much fun and things don't seem so bad, and now you sort of realize how crappy life is, really. I mean, life is pretty awful. But, it's great too. Life is also great.